how to navigate the post-pandemic world of work. Hi, I'm Connie Steele. I am a getWise expert, author, executive consultant, career strategist, and future of work and life expert. And I help individuals and corporations get unstuck in today's society. So let's start talking about what is this new world of work? Well, there has been a fundamental shift from a world of work where it was siloed, narrow, sequential, linear, and rigid, and one that was about conforming to the environments that we were in. But it has shifted to one that's much more collaborative in nature. It's broad in terms of the skills that we need, the experiences that we want, the capabilities that we're looking for to help us. It's more agile, it's more fluid, and it's fundamentally about individual agency, not conforming to where we are, but really finding a way to be us. And as a result, convergence is also happening. We have this shift where we're now living in a world of and, not or, because it's about work and life. We have our personal lives and our professional lives. Certainly in light of the pandemic, that became even more prevalent and to the forefront. We need EQ and IQ to be successful. It's about data and gut. We live in a digital and physical world. We're thinkers, but we also need to be doers. And we're looking for purpose. Companies are looking to convey their purpose. It's not just about profit anymore. And as a result, we have this environment now where change is constant. All of us are feeling this every day, and uncertainty is now the new certainty. So what does that mean for you? Well, we're now products and services on the web, whether we like it or not. Technology certainly has created a level of optionality and a presence where people can look us up and identify and define and determine really whether they want to interact with us. Think of really LinkedIn as an Amazon for professionals. So based on your profile, they determine whether or not they want to engage with you. As I mentioned before, change is constant. Uncertainty is a new certainty. So now we have to go with the flow to adapt. We can't be fixed. As a result, we are in this constant beta state to be our best self because there's always new information coming at us. There's always new things that we can learn. There's always new products, services, and experiences that we have. And so we are looking to identify really what fits us best because we want to be our whole self. So what does that mean for the future? As I mentioned before, it's not about being fixed. The future is fluid. It's really about fluidity because we're not fixed in terms of our role, location, time, really who we are, where we work, when we work, how we work, who we work for, our mindset towards it. The whole point is that so many different aspects are going to be constantly changing. So once we recognize that things are not fixed, they're more fluid. It's about having this growth mindset where we will be constantly changing and iterating. It's all really about us trying to find what fits us best. Again, so we could be our whole self. Because we are not one-dimensional, we're multidimensional. And so ultimately, what does this mean for careers? What we're trying to do is create our career mashup, what I call the career of the future. What it means is it's this combination of skills, roles, interests, passions, experiences, hobbies. Maybe it's even, your identity, multiple jobs and gigs, but it's combined in such a way that really reflects all of who we are. And it takes two forms. One could be a portfolio career. So maybe you have different jobs, different careers that combine together that could showcase all your talents. But maybe there's another situation in which you really have one primary job, but the reality is that it enables you to bring together this potentially nonlinear career path that you've had, where you have been able to sample in so many different places, but it enables you to integrate all of that so that you can create incredible value. And the reason why people are looking to create this career mashup is because it not only differentiates you and makes you more competitive, but it also helps you manage risk. Just like stocks and investing, and you want to diversify, this is a way to do so. But also in the end, it really just lets you reflect all of your talents and interests. So how do you even do it? Well, there is a system in place. And this is really about strategic planning for you. As I mentioned before, we're now products and services on the web. So what does that mean? What that also means is that you now need to be the CEO of you. You have to identify what makes you you. And so if you yourself are this product and service, and you need to look at yourself like you're the CEO of you. And just like companies who develop strategic plans for their organizations to determine where they should go and how they can grow, you absolutely need to do the same thing for yourself. So this 5-part fluid career system is what you need to do to help map that plan out. And it's really about analysis, planning, and execution. So let's get into these 5 components. The first component is called spotting the trends. And it's really spotting and analyzing those trends. So it's understanding where your opportunities could be, and fundamentally why. Not just what, but always getting to the why. Because once you understand the why, it gives you more context on what to do next. So what does that mean for your job, your company, your industry, and ultimately where you want to be? What are others doing based on where you want to go? That's just another data point. What's working, what's not? What are your skills and value? This is the micro analysis. So the previous points there, think of the macro analysis, big picture, what's going on in the industry and the market and the competition. So those are data points that you collect. Now, there's another aspect, the micro analysis about you personally. Where do you deliver value? What capabilities do you have? Why does that matter to other people? What environments do you work in? What types of people do you work with best, and why? So the key thing is, look at this as a market, competitive, and company analysis for yourself. The second component in the fluid career system is creating your compass. This is where you start to build that roadmap. But note, this roadmap is going to be iterative because, again, we're not fixed, but you need to really plant a flag and start with some foundation. So the question is, where do you want to be? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve in your career? But maybe the higher order goal that you're trying to define is, what do you want to do in your life? And how does your career and how does work fit into it? Then identify, what are the drivers to get you there? What are the pathways? Because there may be multiple. And how is that different from where you are now? What needs to change to lead you down a path of where you want to be? And remember, this is not something that is going to be immediate. You have to chart where you want to go. And as you start to do it, you'll learn. You'll get data. You'll understand, does this fit or does this not fit? But this is all about defining that plan to help you get there. So set that goal, determine those objectives and milestones, outline the approach to hit them. And then you're testing and you're learning and you're iterating all along the way. Because just because you did one thing to try to get there, it doesn't mean it might be the right fit, and that's okay. Failure, there really is no failure because you're just learning. So again, this particular component is all about, think about building your roadmap and plan. The next component, the third component, is preparing for change. For some of you who work in companies, think of this as change management for you. Many times we get so excited by this opportunity to do something new. We get started, we start to put things on paper, but all of a sudden fear gets in the way because we are pivoting in a new direction potentially. And that change makes us really uncomfortable. A lot of us don't like change, and it creates a lot of fear. So how do you push past the fear? And the fear that many of us face is this fear of failure. We have anxiety. We are worried that we'll be ashamed of what we're doing, or other people will be ashamed of what we're doing. So much of this is building the mindset and the confidence to handle the change. And it comes down to you identifying, is this fear rational or is it emotional? Where is it coming from and why? So that you could look at things very objectively. So it's identifying the level of control that you have over the potential dynamics and what that means for you near term and long term. So be proactive, not reactive, understand, anticipate, and start to plan for what could happen next. But so much of this is getting to know you and your triggers. Next, networking. As we all know, having that village of support is so important to supporting you in anything that you do. So part of this plan has to be you building this network, and it may be different from who you have right now. So based on the plan that you created in creating your compass, that gives you insight into the types of people that you'll need to reach out to get the level of information that will be important to guide you along the way. They can help you determine the skills, the experiences, the companies, the kinds of industries that would fit with where you're trying to get to. And in return, you inevitably will have built a wonderful relationship where you can mutually help each other. And it's so important to recognize in networking, it is not about what you get. It's about what you can also give. It's identifying that value, that mutual really value. It's a mutual value exchange because you want to be able to leverage this network in the long run. These are new friendships that you're creating. So build authentic relationships to build your long-term village personally and professionally, because you never know when these wonderful people can help you in the future. Lastly, skill development. Many of us tend to focus on hard skills, but really what's incredibly necessary going forward is soft skills. You have to balance the acquisition of both, because it's not just hard skills that are going to help you move ahead. Soft skills are more important. Now you have to deal with people. Your job is dealing with people. Your job isn't dealing with technology or processes and so forth. Your job is working with people. So understand aptitude is important. It's not just the achievement and the history of the experience. And those skills that you build are also not stagnant. They are always going to be changing. And what was relevant in the past may take a different weight in the future. But one important skill in particular is EQ, emotional intelligence. It's about knowing yourself. It's about reading others. Because again, remember, you are dealing with people. So your desired and required skills will need to evolve and change over time, and continue to get input into what you need so it will help you get to where you want to go. And in the end, while I've gone through each of these 5 components of the fluid career system in a linear fashion, realize this, that you are creating your flywheel. So much of this, it is a iterative, integrated, interconnected system to help manage the business of you. Remember, you now need to be the CEO of you, because you want to be your whole self, and you will test and learn and iterate along the way to help you get there. Thank you so much for watching. And if you need any more advice on this topic, book a call with me on getWise.